What is going on, you guys? Pineapple back. Today we're going to be talking about choosing your first airsoft gear, airsoft guns, and attachments. All the prices you hear from this video are going to be in Canadian prices. So if you're from the States or if you're from somewhere where your dollar is stronger than ours, of course it's going to be cheaper to you. There's also timestamps in the video so that if you don't want to watch the whole thing and you want to watch a specific part of the video, go ahead and just skip through there. It's going to be in the description and as well as the video. When choosing your first airsoft gun, it can be very overwhelming. There's thousands of airsoft guns on the market. And when you're choosing your first one, you want to get it right because these guys aren't cheap. They cost a pretty penny. What I recommend you start off with is an M4 AEG. So the reason why I highly suggest you start off with an M4 and as well as an AEG, because the M4 platform is the most popular platform when it comes to airsoft. That means that aftermarket parts are going to be pretty much everywhere. You're opening yourself up to a variety of parts that you can easily get if anything breaks or if you just want to upgrade in the future. Yes, there are tons of airsoft guns out there like AKs, MP5s, MP7s, pistols, snipers, but don't just watch a sniper video and be like, I want a sniper. Get something that will fit you for playing both indoors and outdoors for your first time. You don't want to limit yourself to just playing outdoors, and if you're here in Canada, it's already starting to snow. If you end up choosing an M4 platform or if you end up choosing a different platform, that's okay. When I first started airsoft 10 years back, I started out with an ICS CXP M4 and a buddy of mine started out with his MP7. Now don't get me wrong, he loves his MP7. He just wished that every time he was out of ammo, I was able to share my M4 mags with him, but I couldn't because they're not the same platform. That didn't stop him from loving and enjoying the game of airsoft with his lovely MP7, and to this day he actually still uses his MP7. As far as for different brands, I am a die-hard TM and VFC fanboy. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about any other brand. I'm just joking. I didn't really trust a lot of brands back then because when airsoft first started out when I was younger, there wasn't a whole lot. And the brands that I didn't trust before have made massive progressions in getting rid of the flaws that they used to have. So as far as brands, it is really up to you. Mind you that different brands will cost a lot more than certain brands. There is also another option which some of you guys probably know already. There is an AEG. Then there is this, a gas blowback. Now the difference between a gas blowback and an AEG is the power it needs to cycle a BB and shoot it. So for AEGs, they're electric, duh. But for gas, they're gas. I'll also explain this better actually. For gas blowbacks, you'll need propane, CO2, or green gas. You will need something like this that will fill up your mags with propane or green gas if you have. And that is what's going to make the bolt on here move back. It is gas powered. The difference between an AEG and a gas blowback is the power it needs to shoot. So for AEGs, it's electric. They need a battery. For a gas blowback, it's gas. You need gas. As far as starting out with gas blowback, I personally don't recommend it. It falls under the same points I said earlier with not being able to share your mags with a friend if you're out of ammo mid-fight on the field. Gas mags also hold around 30 BBs where your AEG mags float around 80 to 250 depending on what mag you get. You will be at a major disadvantage when it comes to a firefight and you're using a gas blowback for your first gun and someone else and everyone else is using an AEG. Gas blowbacks are very, very fun to use and as close to the real gun as you can get without shooting a real gun. But there are drawbacks. For instance, you only have 30 BB counts. The gas efficiency will be inconsistent. Every time you shoot, it wastes gas. That means it's more inconsistent. You can upgrade a gas blowback to make it more consistent, more gas efficient, but do you want to do all of that when you can save money on just buying your attachments, your gears, your setup, your outfit, and all that? Because let me tell you something, all right? These gas mags are no joke. They're $100 a pop. But no, I'm serious. Are you really ready to spend hundreds of dollars on gas mags when one of them literally costs $100? Do you want to? I could have literally bought a whole kit for $1,500, but I bought mags. I'm not saying that gas blowback is bad. I'm saying that as for your first gun, start off with an electric airsoft gun. Don't buy all these attachments and like slap 4 flashlights, 5 red dots, a sniper scope, and you're gonna toss in a little bipod at the bottom. Don't buy all of these unnecessary attachments just to slap it onto your gun. I have been there, I have done that, and I can't really say I regret buying the attachments that I bought, slapped it on my gun, maybe even for a few days. I can't really say I regret it, but I did waste money because they're just sitting in a box now. If you want to buy some attachments for your gun, what I usually run on my guns as far as attachment goes, it's probably going to be my same recommendation. So, red dots. If you want to buy a red dot, I have talked about this in the past and I'll talk about it again. Get a T1, get a T2, get a hollow sun, get whatever your heart desires. But please, don't buy one of these. They're trash. They're also like $80. A T1 or a T2 is $80. Get that. But the reason why I like T1 and T2 style red dots is because it fits a lower profile, or a smaller profile should I say, when you're aiming down a sight. Notice how much more you can see around the gun. If you have a hollow sight on there, it's probably gonna block your sight a little bit closer to your face, but to each their own. I'm not bashing on hollow, and I'm not bashing on any of the red dots, except this one. I hate that one. But end of the day, the red dot is up to you. Before we go on to the next attachments, please, oh my god, the amount of times I've seen something like this break. Buy a lens protector for this next attachment that I'm about to recommend. Buy a lens protector for your red dot, no matter which one you choose. Just buy one, okay? You don't want to have to buy something twice when it could have been prevented and protected. Do you need a flashlight? No, not really. Do you like blinding people? Buy one. Choosing your first flashlight, it's up to you. You don't need a heavily bright one. If you just want to buy something that's 300 lumens, that is okay. I actually started out with a 300 lumen flashlight, but nowadays I run flashlights that are 1000 lumens and above because I like blinding people. Not only can flashlights blind people, but in my experience, and I have also said this in my past video, people duck when they see a flashlight. Some people challenge it. Most people duck. Then it gives you a lot of information of where people are. Let's just say that, you know, you're turning a corner and you flash somebody. You see them duck, you know exactly where they are. It gives you some information about where you are, who your enemy is, where your enemies are at, how many are there. It just gives you a little bit of information. Now, flashlights are not really just meant to use when it's in the dark. Of course, that's what it's meant for. But when you're playing airsoft, you can use it to a tactical advantage. But do you need one to play in airsoft? No. Most of the times, most fields are already lit up and bright, so you don't really need a flashlight. The one thing you would need it for is just to blind people. So the flashlights, other than the one on my pistol, are made from Olight. Look, I get it. A lot of people will be like, why do you have a bomb on your gun? The flashlights that I have and that I run on my airsoft guns, especially for my rifles, are the Odin and the Javelot Tac from Olight. Look, I get it. There's a lot of brands out there, Surefire, Modlite, you name it. But the one main reason why I picked Olight is this. Right here and right here, okay? See this pressure switch? Magnet. Now it works. The main reason why I choose Olight, other than Surefire, Modlites, or any other brands out there, is mainly just because of two features. One, they sell them with a quick release for the light as well for any M-LOK rails or Picatinny rail. And what really sold me is the magnetic backing on each of their flashlights. Now this magnetic backing has a lock so that you can't just tug on the wire and it'll just go anywhere. Now I know you hear that rattle. There is also a tightening system and it no longer rattles. It is on there pretty tight. I was honestly so tired of buying CR123 batteries, which are probably the most common batteries for airsoft when it comes down to flashlight. Those things are like $25 for one. for 2. I don't remember. It's been so long since I bought. $25 adds up whether you get 1 or 2. Most flashlights nowadays take 2. That's expensive. Now look, I get it. Mod Light, Surefire, you guys have your 18650 version that you could just charge. There are Mod Light diehards out there. There are Surefire diehards out there. And then there's me. I don't really care what I get. I just liked the magnetic charging and you know that's so easy. You know, if you want to lock it, you can lock it. It's not going anywhere. Whatever flashlight you get, doesn't matter. You can buy it on AliExpress, you can buy it on Amazon. Finally found your gun, whether if it's an M4 or a different platform, whatever the case may be, you probably got one of these when you first got the gun. There are 2 different types of mags that you can buy that are most popular in the airsoft community, in the airsoft market. One of them being is a high cap and a mid cap. Now, the difference between the 2 significantly outweighs the pros of the other. Let's talk about high caps. What are they? How do they work? They're not fondling the bottom of their mag for no reason. How this works is there's a tension system in here that needs to be winded up to create that tension. So in order for the BBs to come from here and have tension up here to feed into your gun, you'll need to wind this up more until you hear a few clicks and see some BBs at the top. How you fill these up are probably the most easiest way you can fill an airsoft mag. There is a little lever at the top, which if you open, you could just pour BBs straight in there. There are different types of BBs and different weights of BBs. By different types, I mean there are the regular normal BBs that you would use, and for outdoors, it is highly recommended that you use bio BBs. Bio BBs degrade over time, but the downside to using bio BBs, and you can't really use them indoor, is they shatter on impact. This is why I say never use mesh eye protection, because you never really know what somebody is using. BBs are already essentially cheaper than paintball. Like a box of paintball, I don't know how much it is now. I'll probably say $200. $150, $200 for a box of paintball. For a bag of 4,000 or potentially even less or a little bit more, it's probably gonna run you maybe $25, $30. It's hella cheap. Now, as far as different weights of BBs, you have 0.2s, which is the bare minimum, not even myself, but the whole community will agree on. You need to run when you're playing with an airsoft gun. If you run anything lower than a 0.2, let's say you go to your nearest Walmart and you buy these 0.12 gram BBs, you're gonna see your BBs fly all over the place and ask yourself, why did you buy this expensive gun when it can't even shoot straight, right? There's a lot of factors that go into this, and one of them being is the different types of BBs that you use and the different weights. Now, I really don't recommend you go to your closest Walmart and buy these, you know, garbage BBs that are 5,000 BBs for like 15 bucks. Yes, it might sound good, you have 5,000 BBs. The fact that every single one of those BBs are 0.12 grams are not good for your gun. They could potentially break in your gun. They could damage your internals of your gun. They definitely won't be as accurate as heavier BBs will. Now, the general rule is the heavier the BB, the farther the BB can travel, and the better at fighting wins. The lighter you go for BB weight, the faster your BB can travel, but are very prone to wind. Now look, this doesn't mean I don't agree with buying that cheap brand of BBs from Walmart or whatever. If you have already bought these and you're now seeing this video and you're like, I gotta return these. Well, hold on. If you run grenades, or if you're planning on running grenades, these are actually the best BBs to use because these will fly fast. I don't recommend you run like 0.32s on a grenade because they're probably not gonna fly as fast and as further than 0.12 BBs. Plate carrier or chest rig, it's up to you. Okay, I have both of them. The reason why I have both of them is they both serve a different purpose. For the plate carrier, what I use them for are for heavier kits. If I want to move a little bit slower than I'm used to. If I run gas blowback mags, those are pretty heavy, so I run this to support the heaviness of what I am wearing that day. If I want to go lighter, if I want to be a little speed demon out there, it is easier to run around with this than a plate carrier because you have more room to breathe. You don't have this giant thing on your chest blocking your movements. If you're gonna be running a plate carrier, mind you, yes, it does protect you from an impact to your chest and everything, but there are times where you won't be able to feel a BB and somebody might call you out for cheating when you didn't intentionally try to cheat. Now yes, a BB impact from a plate carrier compared to a chest rig is a lot different. This is a lot harder. There's nothing here. I can't really recommend one or the other to you guys because I use them for different purposes. But what I can say, if you're starting out and you want to just buy one out of the two, picture yourself if you're going to be playing more indoor or more outdoor. If you want to look more tactical or if you want to look more speedy boy or normal or whatever. That will probably decide which one you'll go for. If you're more of a tactical guy and you play more outdoors, of course grab the plate carrier. If you're more of an indoor type of guy and you want to be a speed demon out there, buy a chest rig. It's up to you. As far as buying these stuff, there are multiple stores, especially if you're where I'm from, Toronto, Canada. There's Toronto Airsoft, Low Impacts, Airsoft Depot, there's Badlands Paintball, there's Ultimate Airsoft, the fields that I go to, Ultimate Airsoft. There is Action Airsoft. They do have some stuff there for sale. Now, of course, there are other shops out there, especially in the GTA area, but these are the ones that I personally have bought something from. Now, of course, I do buy stuff on Amazon and AliExpress as well. If it's for gear, I do buy stuff on AliExpress as they tend to be a little bit cheaper, but it takes like a month to get here. Now, I really hope that any part of this video has helped somebody somewhere along the way of making a decision, whether if it's an M4 or a different platform, whether if it's a chest rig or a plate. I really hope this does help somebody along the way on their airsoft journey, because after all, the new people in this airsoft community is what's going to be making and playing in this next generation. If you guys haven't seen my tips and tricks video yet, please, if you're brand new, give it a little shot. Watch a little bit of it. I know that bitch is 18 minutes. But it's worth it. Thank you all for the love and support that you guys have given. We have broken the 5K threshold. It is amazing to see how far we've come. When I first started this channel, I did not expect it to blow up like this. I did not expect me to be standing in front of a camera like this, talking to myself for hours, giving you guys tips and tricks, but I do enjoy it. I was camera shy to begin with, okay? I met a lot of good people along the way who have now become more than just airsoft friends. They are now friends. We chill on the daily, we hang out, we talk on Discord. Now, it is not even just about airsoft gameplays, because when I first started this channel, I just wanted to capture every single game that I played from the moment I got back to airsoft. It is honestly amazing how far this channel has come from my very first airsoft video up until now. Until next time, guys. Peace. Is this shit still on? Oh, it is. Wanna buy an LMG? So be it. Brrr.